This is XyCraft. It adds all of these cool looking ores. These are blue, xycorium, green, red, light, dark, and then it adds aluminum and it adds kiwi. So you can find these pretty much everywhere. The ores are obviously pretty obvious. Same with aluminum. And then kiwi is found in huge deposits just like diorite and granite and things like that are. So what can you make with these items? Well, to start off, each one of these ores here has its own block or machine that it can make. I do want to mention that the ores are added by XyCraft World, the machines are added by XyCraft Machines. So the water block, if I show you it, you'll see that it is made with a machine base, which is made of some kiwi and some aluminum and some kiwi, etc., and blue xycorium gems, which obviously you get by mining them. The water block is a block of water. Fish will still try and swim into it. You know, you can pipe out of it, etc. It is literally a water block, apart from it doesn't flow everywhere and make a mess, which is really cool. There's the accelerated planter, which is a piece of farmland that will auto-water itself and works faster than normal farmland for growing. The ignition plate, so just to clarify, the green ones make this one, the red ones make the ignition plate. When having a redstone signal, it will emit flames out the top of it, and it will do that forever. But it must have a redstone signal to do so. The light xycorium makes a fluid void. Any fluids that it touches will be voided. For example, if I place water here, as you can see, I can't. And it will actually do flowing water too. So you can see that the water is flowing everywhere apart from next to this block. So it will literally block all water flowing or otherwise. And then we have the light field. It doesn't actually emit a lot of light, but what it does is it works just like if you know the Mega Torch mod. It will stop mobs spawning in a 32 block radius around it. Then moving on, so once we've gone through all of those blocks, we then have a few other cool machines. The extractor here. So this works for, it kind of grows the block beneath it. So I've got lava here, I've got water, and I've got cobblestone. With the extractor above it, what you'll actually see in this chest is it is using it as a cobblestone farm. So it's basically continuing the convergence between these two materials and putting it into the chest above it. The next item we have is a multi-block, and this is the... it's technically done by the valve, so you can make up to 13 by 13 by 13 using any hard rock. So as long as it isn't see-through, and it's like a proper brick, so you can use cobblestone, you can use bricks, you can use kiwi, any stone at all, anything that is like a proper building block, you can make a tank out of. So I could make this out of anything I like, stone, cobblestone, and then basically you need a frame, so you know the sides, the floor, the roof, and then you could put glass in the middle if you wish. You put a valve into it, so you'll see here when I put the valve in and then I right click it, it says formed, and you can see a slight outline of where it's been formed, and it will make a tank. So you can put the valve in any kind of, you can put the valve in any kind of area you want in these structures. You know, I can make this bigger, I can make it smaller, I can make it out of anything I like, and what we can then do using a wrench. Now, XyCraft doesn't add a wrench, so I'm going to use the configurator from mechanism. We can right click onto that without the wrench, that is, and you can see you can put things in here. There's also a hydro pump item, and what this will do is it's basically like if you've ever used cooking for blockheads or anything like that, it's an infinite water source. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a mechanical pipe from mechanism, plop that onto the valve, because that's how you input and output, and I'm going to shift click on the hydro pump, and as you can see, it's now filling up with water. Now, it will go very slow. If I set this pipe to pull, it will go a lot faster. And as you can see, the tank here is filling up with liquid with the hydro pump. Now, you can also pump in items using these here, which are item import-outports or item IO. The fill or drain side can be toggled with a wrench. So I can just right-click it with any wrench from any mod. Green is input, orange is output. So I can put in, say, buckets of water through here into the tank. We then have these items here, last items in the mod, the void container. Place it above a container. Anything I put in here will now be deleted. As you can see here, it's literally voiding anything it's attached to. So this chest is now a void chest. It turns everything it's attached to into a trash can. There's the collector, if I throw the configurator. it gets put into a chest beneath it. The collector is like a vacuum hopper. The Soran box is a chest by the mod, named after the creator of the mod. And you can use a wrench on here to input and output onto these sides. And then we have the fabricator, which you can put a recipe in the left and it will automatically make those items and output them, basically. So it's you put in a recipe, it will automatically craft them, but you must pipe in the items that obviously make the recipe you're doing. So you'd have to pipe in wooden planks and then put a door recipe in here if you were to make a door. And it has redstone control. You can say, do you want it always on? Do you need high signal or pulse redstone in order to work? So it's basically a very simple auto crafter. Apart from that, XyCraft doesn't add much. It adds all these cool blocks that you can make. Lots of decorative blocks here. One other item it does add is a balloon on a stick. So you place it down, and as you can see, I'm attached to a balloon. So I can now go in creative flight, but don't go too far or the balloon will pop. So it's kind of good for building and stuff, I guess. But apart from that, we've got loads of decorative blocks here made of all the crystals that you've been mining up. And that is pretty much it. There's some cool torches as well. There's like some RGB lamps you can make. And a copper torch made, you know, instead of coal, it's with copper. And there's also an aluminum torch as well that you can add into the mod. And using any dye and some glass, you can also make an RGB viewer here. And a glowing one, which is basically like a multicolored, glass block. And that is it. That is the entirety of the XyCraft mod. I hope you did enjoy the video. Click that subscribe button if you did, and of course leave a thumbs up. If you're looking for other mod guides, I do a hell of a lot on this channel. My actual goal on this channel is to complete every major mod in the entirety of Minecraft for Forge, Fabric, etc. If you look at my channel, I have a tech mod shelf, a magic mod shelf, a utility and standalone mod shelf, so ones that aren't in playlists. I also have now mod pack guides as a shelf. So at the moment, I am live streaming through RLCraft, and you can get that, of course, on my lives. I live every Wednesday and Saturday, and you can always see when the next scheduled stream is. And I play through the mod pack, and then I will also do separate guides on that mod pack. So if you are looking for specific mod packs, or you just want to come along and ask me some questions or hang out, you can also do that there. Do also just use the search bar if you are looking for a specific mod. And if you'd like to play with me, the mod pack that I do live stream, I do from our Patreon server, which of course you can join down below, which would massively support the channel, but also gets you access to things like that.